6,000 years ago, I single-handedly overpowered every Forbidden Zone Supreme and proved my way to Emperor. But in doing so, I broke the laws of fate, meaning I could never be reborn into a second life. Knowing full well how bleak an Emperor's final years truly are, I went alone to a battlefield I'd prepared in advance, planning to go out in one last great war and bury myself there. But right as I was waiting for the Forbidden Zone Supremes to come for me, a strand of undying matter appeared before me in a way I couldn't even begin to understand. And within that undying matter, I saw a chance at a second life. That discovery sent me into deep thought. And just like that, 9 years flew by, until one day the entire Northern Dipper realm shook. Because my Great Tao origin seal had shown signs of being stripped away from the Heavenly Tao, and countless Forbidden Zones suddenly revealed themselves to the world. Among them, the Dead City, the Emperor's Ruins, the Immortal Slaying Forest, along with the Heavenly Gate and the Underworld Abyss. They talked it over and decided to team up. The Night Celestial Deity of the Dead City offered up his divine weapon, while the Emperor's Ruins sent out one of their unorthodox Great Tao achievers. The Immortal Slaying Forest brought another unorthodox achiever plus a peak-level weapon. The Heavenly Gate sent a Guardian General, and the Underworld Abyss sent one of their infernal commanders. Their plan? Test the limits of this old monster's hand. They set a time and moved out together. The entire Northern Dipper realm erupted. Ancient sacred grounds and supreme sects all activated their Heaven's Eye formations to watch. What they saw next only shocked them more. A single figure walked out from the Heavenly Gate. Silver armor, a spear in hand, his entire body radiating peak-level divine light. The terrifying aura made the surrounding void tremble, and at the same time, someone walked out of the Underworld Abyss, dressed in rough hemp robes, pale as a corpse, but radiating a peak-level presence that was just as terrifying. A high elder from one of the ancient sacred grounds stared and said, "The Heavenly Gate and the Underworld Abyss are making a move?" Then the Emperor's Ruins and the Immortal Slaying Forest made their move too. A woman shot across the starry sky at blinding speed. She raised her hand, and a divine ruler crossed the endless void and landed right in her grip. Someone recognized her instantly and shouted, "That's Kuei Ying!" A legendary figure from 10,000 years ago. She existed in the same era as the Bamboo Emperor. And besides Kuei Ying, there was one more. Someone carrying an ancient zither, walking out of the Immortal Slaying Forest. Anyone across the Northern Dipper Emperor star with even basic long-range sight could see this person. But no one recognized him immediately, until one old man said hesitantly, "He almost looks like Zhao Changgang, from over 600,000 years ago." Soon, the Heavenly Gate Guardian led all four of them straight to the desolate star domain where I was, and the Heaven's Eye formations from every major sect followed, piercing through the field I'd set up. They saw what I looked like now, and most of them couldn't hold back the grief. Because I looked completely withered, white, dried-out hair, cracked, desiccated skin, like a man on the very edge of death. A thick aura of death clung to my body, like I could go at any moment. But it was exactly at this extreme limit, right on the verge of nirvanic death, that I finally saw what I'd been waiting to see. A faint, almost imperceptible thread of new life. Searching for rebirth within decay and ruin, the closer you are to total collapse, the more clearly you can feel it. Combined with the undying matter I'd obtained 9 years ago, I was confident I could defy the heavens one more time. But first, I had to survive this assassination attempt. The Heavenly Gate Guardian wasn't happy about being ignored. He swept his spear sideways in an instant. A razor-sharp killing intent exploded in every direction. The starry void shook and the heavens rumbled. Then the unexpected happened. A blood-red fist appeared out of nowhere and slammed straight into the Guardian. In that instant, a savage, overwhelming Emperor's might erupted, pouring every ounce of terrifying force directly onto him. The Guardian's entire suit of armor shattered. He went flying, blood painting the stars. Kuei Ying and Zhao Changgang saw it, and their pupils shrank. They immediately activated their peak weapons and got into position. And then, without anyone knowing when, a blood-red figure appeared right in the middle of their formation. This blood-red figure radiated an absolutely terrifying Supreme Emperor's might. It was an Emperor puppet, capable of unleashing 70% of my power at my absolute peak. The battle erupted immediately. Kuei Ying, her Cayenne robe soaked in blood, wielded the Night Celestial Divine Ruler against the Emperor puppet. Zhao Changgang floated in midair, playing his zither. The strings vibrated, sending out wave after wave of peak-level sound capable of destroying everything in its path. Every wave that swept past the Emperor puppet made it shudder. Some waves even ripped away chunks of its peak-level flesh. Meanwhile, the Bone Commander went straight at the Emperor puppet head-on. Completely expressionless, seemingly without a peak weapon, yet his raw physical body was almost as tough as the Emperor puppet itself. Even the ancient Supremes watching this battle were stunned, and it didn't stop there. Suddenly, a brilliant silver spear came streaking down from above the starry sky. Carrying an unmatched killing intent, it drove straight toward me. And then, to everyone's shock, I got run through. That spear pierced clean through my chest, and the one who threw it was the Heavenly Gate Guardian who'd just been sent flying moments ago. The spear went right through my chest, but not a single drop of blood came out, because my Emperor's blood was almost completely gone. I said quietly to myself, "Looks like I have to step in after all." And with that, I released what little Emperor's blood I had left. A Supreme Emperor's might poured out from my body, shaking the heavens. One punch, and the Heavenly Gate Guardian was obliterated. Then I reached back, pulled the spear out of my chest, and casually flicked it. The spear transformed into a streak of unmatched light, carrying a crushing emperor's might, and launched straight at the Bone Commander. He saw it coming but couldn't dodge it. The spear punched clean through half his body. His body was ground to dust. And on the other side, Kuei Ying and Zhao Changgang each took one of my punches, on top of the Emperor Puppet's assault. In the blink of an eye, Kuei Ying, Zhao Changgang, and the Bone Commander were all on the verge of total collapse, barely hanging on with their secret arts. Before long, Kuei Ying, this legendary beauty who had shaken the stars 10,000 years ago, was blown apart by a single punch from me. Her legend ended right there, right after the Bone Commander met the same fate. One punch, done. The only unexpected thing was what happened with Zhao Changgang. A massive hand reached down from the starry sky, unleashing a peak emperor's might, and at the very last second, it pulled Zhao Changgang out of there. When it was all over, of the four, only Zhao Changgang was dragged away half dead. I watched that massive hand carry him off, my eyes flickering, because from that hand, I felt a strangely familiar peak-level aura. But I didn't have the bandwidth to deal with that right now. I stood tall in the starry sky, looking down at the Forbidden Zones with contempt. Why don't you all come out and fight? The words alone carried the weight of law. A crushing emperor's might descended across every realm. I was calling out the ancient supremes who'd set this whole thing up, but no one responded. Seeing that, I just sat back down and kept meditating on the laws of life and death. That last move had burned through even more of my remaining emperor's blood. The aura of decay around me grew even thicker. But my understanding of that new life stirring within the decay went even deeper. And just like that, 3 more years passed.